Hey guys, we're back at the test track today with SDI, and we're doing some shooting of the Gen 3. Oh, fuck, that was smooth. Hey guys, I love to keep it dirty off-road. Today we're with the SDI crew to give you guys a preview of what's to come with their kit for the Gen 3. You guys saw our last video. The Gen 3 was doing some fucking things on the trail. Doing it whatever side is deepest, it overcompensates and stiffens it and puts it all on the other side. That's weird. That's gonna create some funky behavior though off-road.
It's gonna feel weird for sure.
Yeah, it was overcompensating and it just wasn't riding as flat as we would like. Well, SDI is adapting their kit to the Gen 3 to make it perform even better than what Ford had in mind. The integration with the Gen 3 has taken a little bit longer because it's a completely different architecture. Electronically, the Gen 3 is very different than the Gen 2 and even the Gen 1. Gen 1 and Gen 2 share a lot. Gen 3 is very different. So it's taken a little bit longer to integrate with that system. Now, from the factory, the Gen 3 shocks are supposed to be faster, but the strategy that Ford has implemented, just like when they released live valves in the 1920s, leaves a lot on the table, and the shocks aren't performing as well as they should, and the strategies are also more reactive rather than predictive. So SDI's algorithm, you guys have seen it before, it really wakes up the Gen 2, it really changes the dynamics of that truck, and they're applying it to the Gen 3, and the results are impressive, and we're going to show it to you guys. This is our test course, and this is the spot we picked. We pick it for a reason, guys. If you look, this ground is a little bit unlevel, and hopefully the camera can capture it. But basically, we picked this area because we can get up to speed off of that turn, and we can come down through here in the 40s to 50s and hit this unlevel bump and see what the suspension does. Now, why do we pick this? Is one, this will overload the suspension since we get to see it tuck all the way. But second, and more importantly, it's uneven. This side is much deeper than that side, so it allows us to see if the truck tries to stay level, because level flat is better. It gives you more control and it's more predictable. We're going to do a pass with the stock suspension, and we're going to do a pass with the E-Click to show you guys the difference between the two. Now, in this case, normally we have two trucks to do this. Today, we're going to do it with one truck. So we're going to do the truck in normal mode and Baja mode, bring it through here, see how it performs at about 50 miles an hour. And then we're going to do a second pass using the E-Click modes, using their normal mode and their desert mode, and show you guys the difference and how impressive the system is and how much flatter and everything looks. One of the big things that I'm looking for is seeing the truck not overcompensate. Last time we were here, when we compared the E-Click Gen 2 to the Gen 3, we noticed that the Gen 3 was overcompensating to one side. So if the hole was on the left side, it overcompensated and put the truck too much to the right side to compensate for the hole. Again, part of that reactive strategy rather than predictive. So I want to see if the truck stays flatter through there with the E-Click system and if it reduces the bucking in the back, because the Gen 3 does a good job of reducing buck, but it doesn't eliminate it. I want to see if the SDI E-Click system eliminates it. Let's check it out. Now, to start us off, it does have the E-Click system installed, but nothing is connected. All the stock connections are still there. Everything is as if the vehicle was stock with no changes to the shocks. We will integrate the E-Click system later, but we'll have to actually take the truck to the shop and get that done. Now, we start off with the vehicle in normal just to get ourselves a baseline and see how the truck does, and as you guys see, it bucks a lot. Next, we move down to Baja mode to really get an idea of what the max capabilities are of this truck, and this pass was around 45 miles per hour. So you guys see, it does pretty decent. That actually looked really good. The Gen 3 actually does really good, but there's still room for improvement. Here, after we got our baselines, the SDI crew took the truck all the way back to their shop to do the actual connections, get the whole system fully wired in. They actually have to disconnect the live valves, connect them directly to the SDI system to really get it to function, and hear the results of that testing. Well, that was close. I almost flew it into myself. I wasn't ready. What mode was that? Street mode?
How did that look?
It looked pretty flat. Let's do that mode again. We were a little taken by surprise on that one. By the time we were here, we had just gotten the drones up. Do normal. Let's do that again, and then we'll do your desert mode twice. What's your thoughts on trying to go a little bit faster? That almost looks flat, man. I mean, it looks uneventful. It's so smooth.
I wish there wasn't that corner. I'll try to go a little bit more.
Try like maybe 55. I think the 55 is the max we were able to do out here.
Yeah.
Just be real careful on the stop.
No, I know.
Let's get one more shot and let's see max speed, wherever you feel comfortable is the max speed. Oh, fuck, that was smooth. That's the best pass we've ever seen through here, by far. All right, so we're back from testing, and I wanted to kind of check out the footage really quick with you guys to get your impressions and get your actual reactions, because I think there's a pretty significant difference here. We'll overlay it for you guys, but this right here is the first shot. So this was all stock.
So this is normal mode, right?
Yeah, this is normal stock, no
drive.
You can see the back end bucks a lot, and it hits that second bump. You
can actually hear it bottom there too, huh?
And it does better than the Gen 2.
Oh, for sure. You can actually see a little bit of it. You get that weird roll.
It overcompensates.
It's like it just doesn't keep it level.
Let's take a look at the fastest pass we did through there. So this is your mode in desert, I think it was. This was the fastest pass. I think you're going, what, 55, 60 on this one?
Yeah, I was right in there. Oh, wow.
Dude, fuck, that was smooth. Look how uneventful that was. Dude, that was so
It actually kind of looks boring.
It does. That's what I was telling you. It's like we need more speed because it almost looks boring because it looks like there's nothing there.
Yeah, it just soaks it all up.
Yeah, and that was like a decent clip faster, but it's really not doing anything.
Listen to it too. It doesn't bottom out.
No.
It doesn't even bottom out. Which that's totally freaking impressive to me. This is just your first pass, right? So you're not done with the system. This is just the
stock. This is basically just the electronics packet. We got to button up wiring, and we have to actually build an adapter to make this work with the stock one. They changed the location. Actually, a lot of stuff has changed. Like the brake system changed. We probably dealt with the brakes on this truck, on this system for 3 days, just getting it figured out because it works so differently.
When you went from a traditional master cylinder mechanical system to now an electronic, fully electronic braking system, so that makes a huge difference.
Actually, I will suggest this. Like if you're off-roading or driving, turn traction control off. The brakes are so heavy and being used so much, and then our system's looking at the braking, it's seeing you're on the gas and then you're on the brake, like it's a little bit over, so we turn the traction control off, and it definitely helps the truck because you'll be like trying to go through a rough section, and like let's say the wheel spins off the top, like it catches a little bit of air, it gets light, well the traction control kicks in and it puts that brake on, all of a sudden it's like that, and then it's like, oh, what am I doing? So it makes it way jumpier.
You got multiple systems coming though, right? So this right here, this is just the base system. No changes to the shocks. You're just tapping into the stock.
You literally, with this system, when we're done, this is just the electronics, and it's going to be super simple. All we're doing is you're going to unbolt and unplug the stock suspension ECU, put ours. We have to do an adapter, but it's going to be an adapter. You'll run 2 wires, one for the IMU sensor, one for the screen. You'll run those up into the cabin. It's like a super short run. It's going to probably be the easiest system to install.
Okay, so similar to the old system, as far as ease of installation, just more connections, right?
Actually, it's going to end up being less connections.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's
going to be really easy.
So more integration.
We don't even plug into the OBD2 sensor on this because we can get almost all the information we need off of where the stock ECU plugs in.
Now, this is just to give you guys a preview of what's coming. You guys are also still going to do your standard treatment where you're going to do SDI tuned shocks, and you're even looking at tuned springs, right?
Yeah. We have actually a couple other parts in the mix, too, that we're testing. The whole goal of this whole first part was, like, how good can we make the truck without pulling the shocks off? Already, the Gen 3 is a huge step better. The shocks have actually always been decent, but this tune is already way better. So it actually was better than I thought we would get, just because, like, from Gen 2 to Gen 3. Like, Gen 2 was easy to get better results. But, like, you get in a Gen 3, you're like, oh, wow, this thing's pretty good. Like, they made huge improvements. But to be able to get to what we got, I'm like, we're ecstatic with that. So once we get into shocks, I bet I think our goal can be 70 miles an hour.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Are you guys taking into account whether it's a 35-inch version or a 37-inch version, and does that impact your tune?
We're doing all of our testing right now on 35. We're going to change the wheel size, change springs. There's a couple other different ways to lift it, the preload, and what we want to do is test all of those individually. A lot of guys still want the front a little bit higher. It still sits a little bit lower than the rear, and it always looks so much better, and I think it's got more performance potential if you do the right job of getting the front up. We want to test all those options, and then we're going to really get into the valving, because I have a feeling once we put 37s on, the shock tune will need to be changed more for that. So we're basically going through all the steps. Actually, in this step right now, This thing is going to be pre-running a desert race. So we've asked the guys that are taking it out right now to go and fine-tune all the settings of the controller to like truly come up with the best baseline. Because the track that they're doing is like perfect. It's got high-speed desert sections. It's got fire roads. It's got rock gardens. So they can really, fine-tune chill mode. So we're going to get all those base settings completely dialed and then test all the lift things, wheel size, and then get into the shock valving.
I know you guys are mid-developed, so how long do you guys think before the base solution comes out and then maybe your tune solution?
For the electronics package, it'll be 2 months, and I think that the shock valving, shock tune stuff will be done by then.
Mm-hmm.
The lift parts to level that out is probably closer to 3 to 4 months, I would say.
But I think that's going to be the best option, right? Because it's going to be a whole solution with springs and valving and everything, and it's really going to get the most maximum performance out of that truck.
We really want to spend some time on this. For Gen 2, there's preload collars, there's ones that just stack up to drop everything out, and then there's just changing springs to get the lift, which there's like mixed feelings about all three of those ways. So we're going to test all three of them, and whatever is best, we want to offer that as the pack.
It's about what's going to get you the most bang for your buck, right? It's the simplest solution. Because at the end of the day, you still have to put something that's going to be easy for the guys to put on the truck. All right, guys, so that's it for this quick preview. Again, we just wanted to show you guys what the technology is, what SDI is working on. They give us a sneak peek, and I'm already blown away. The truck's already performing much, much better, and I can't wait to see what the system's done.
Yeah, we're really happy. Gen 3 is already such a huge step. Like, it's so crazy. You just go and buy this truck, and the fact that we can get it to work that much better, it's going to be cool.
All right, guys. So thank you, Dan, for, again, letting us play with the truck and letting us film it. And thank you guys for helping us film. And, again, thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one.